Under the vast skies of Punjab, where the wind carries echoes of steel striking steel, and where the soil has been watered by sacrifice, a warrior rose whose name would become a storm across the northwest frontier. That name was Hari Singh Nalwa, the lion of the frontier, the shield of the Sikh Empire, and the undefeated sword of the Khalsa. Born in 1791 in Gujranwala, into a respected Sikh family, Hari Singh entered a world already shaped by conflict and resilience. His father, Gurdas Singh, passed away when he was still a child. Loss came early. Responsibility came early. But so did strength. Raised by his courageous mother, he grew up listening to the heroic tales of the Khalsa warriors and the supreme sacrifices of the Gurus. From a young age, he was trained in horsemanship, swordsmanship, and archery. His body became strong, but more importantly, his spirit became unbreakable. He deeply absorbed the teachings of Guru Gobind Singh, the creator of the Khalsa, who taught that a true Sikh must be both saint and soldier, humble in prayer, fearless in battle. Legend speaks of the moment that earned him the name Nalwa. As a teenager, he encountered a ferocious tiger. Instead of retreating, he attacked with fearless determination and killed the beast. From that day forward, he was known as Hari Singh Nalwa, the one who fights like a tiger. At the age of 16, he entered the court of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, the great architect of the Sikh Empire. The Maharaja saw in the young warrior not just courage, but intelligence and leadership. It did not take long before Hari Singh began proving himself on the battlefield. He participated in the conquest of Kasur in 1807, displaying exceptional bravery. His tactics were sharp, his charges decisive. Soon after, he fought in campaigns across Sialkot, Attock, Multan, and Kashmir. In every campaign, he led from the front. He did not command from behind walls. He rode at the head of his cavalry. The capture of Attock in 1813 was one of the most significant moments in Sikh military history. Attock was the gateway between Punjab and Afghanistan. Whoever controlled Attock controlled the western axis. Under Sikh command, and with Nalwa's strategic brilliance, the fort fell. This victory signaled that the Sikh Empire was no longer a regional power. It was now a dominant force. But his greatest challenge awaited in Peshawar. For centuries, waves of invaders had entered India through the Khyber Pass. Punjab had long suffered raids and instability from across the frontier. Maharaja Ranjit Singh entrusted Hari Singh Nalwa with the most dangerous responsibility, securing Peshawar and the volatile northwest. This was not just a military assignment. It was a test of endurance, courage, and vision. As governor of Peshawar, Nalwa did something extraordinary. He did not merely fight, he fortified. He strengthened border defenses, constructed strategic forts, and ensured disciplined administration. The Jamrud Fort near the Khyber Pass became a powerful symbol of Sikh authority. For the first time in centuries, the direction of fear reversed. Instead of invaders marching into Punjab, the Khalsa flag stood firm at the entrance of the Khyber. Afghan tribes who once raided freely now faced organized resistance. Hari Singh Nalwa's reputation grew so immense that his very name became a psychological weapon. Stories spread across the frontier of his bravery and discipline. But beyond fear, he commanded respect. He enforced law and order, protected trade routes, encouraged commerce, ensured fair taxation, and made certain that civilians, regardless of faith or tribe, were treated with justice under Sikh rule. He also supervised the construction and reinforcement of multiple forts across the frontier, understanding that territory is not secured by victory alone, but by permanence. His governance combined steel with stability. He reorganized local militias, strengthened intelligence networks, and ensured rapid communication between frontier posts and Lahore. In Kashmir, after its conquest, he contributed to stabilizing governance and administration. Revenue systems were restructured, lawlessness was reduced, and trade routes were made safer. In frontier territories, he balanced firmness with fairness. He was not reckless. He was calculated. He was not cruel. He was resolute. Yet above all, he remained grounded in faith. Before entering battle, he would bow his head in prayer. He believed that strength came from Vaheguru. For him, warfare was not about personal glory. It was about duty, sovereignty, and protecting the Khalsa Raj. He carried not only weapons, but conviction. His soldiers admired him because he shared their hardships. He endured the same harsh climates, the same battlefield dangers, and the same long marches. In winter winds of the frontier and in the blazing heat of campaigns, he stood with them, not above them. Then came 1837, the Battle of Jamrud. Afghan forces, determined to reclaim lost ground, launched a massive assault under Dost Muhammad Khan's command. The Sikh garrison was heavily outnumbered. Hari Singh Nalwa, already wounded in earlier encounters, refused to withdraw. He understood what Jamrud represented. If it fell, the frontier would weaken. If it stood, the Sikh Empire would remain unshaken. Despite severe injuries, he commanded his forces with unwavering determination. Even as bullets tore to the battlefield and cannons thundered against the fort walls, he stood firm. His voice carried authority. His presence carried courage. His resolve carried the army. When he was mortally wounded, his men concealed the news of his death to prevent enemy morale from rising. Such was his reputation that even the possibility of his survival kept opposing forces cautious and hesitant to advance fully. He died defending Jamrud, defending the frontier, defending the sovereignty of the Sikh Empire. Hari Singh Nalwa did not just win battles. He secured borders. He transformed a vulnerable frontier into a fortified shield. He reversed centuries of invasion patterns that had shaped northern India's history. Under his command, the tide of history itself seemed to pause and turn. He embodied the Khalsa ideal, the saint soldier, fierce in combat, disciplined in governance, humble before God. His courage was not reckless aggression. It was disciplined bravery guided by purpose. Today, his name still echoes in Punjab's history. His legacy lies not only in forts and battlefields, but in the spirit of resilience he represented. The frontier he defended became a symbol of Sikh strength and strategic brilliance. He was not merely a general. He was a guardian of sovereignty. He was a wall against invasion. He was a storm against tyranny. He was the lion of the frontier. His sword may rest, but his courage still inspires generations. This is the story of strength. This is the story of sacrifice. This is the story of Hari Singh Nalwa. Sikh History Channel.